So in previous session, we done the insecure logging and hard code issue and the reverse engineering part. Okay, now next we have to see some insecure data storage. Okay, now whenever application is installed in our Android system, okay, they store some data in different ways. Okay, the way is on share preference, database, temporary file, or some hidden file. Okay, these are the ways are storing some data, and it is depending upon the developer. Okay, how developer can storing the data. For example, let's see on a share preference first. Okay, in secure data storage in a share preference. So I'll start the Genie motion and open the mobile phone here. Now I'm open the terminal. Now in a dev application, you can see here the insecure data storage part 1. Okay, now in an insecure data storage, we are see in our share preferences. Okay, in our shared preferences. Now in a shared preferences, the data will be stored such as username, passwords, okay, bank details, KYC details, okay, anything. Now share preference is, you can say, sometimes a temporary. Okay, when you clear your data, okay, when you clear your application data, the share preference will also clear. Okay, for example, on a KYC detail, okay, I have to do the KYC. Now the application told me the 3 attempts to do the proper KYC. Okay, the 3 attempts to do the KYC. If I do the wrong KYC or a wrong OTP during the KYC verification, 3 times they logged my KYC parameter. Okay, after I do the wrong OTP 3 times, I unable to do the KYC, and they are saying logged my KYC parameter, please contact the admin to unlock this. Now if the developer are storing these credentials on the share preference, so whenever I do the clear data, you can easily go for the another attempts. Okay, you can easily go for the another 3 attempts. After 3 wrong attempts, the another time logged your KYC parameter, then another time to do your clear your data, and another time it will be reopens. It is also the vulnerable. Why vulnerable? Because some data might be stored from the backend servers, from backend databases. Do not store some sensitive data on the share preferences. Okay, now username and password must be stored in the share preferences, but it should be a fully encrypted. Okay, now don't store the bank details or a KYC, because whenever attacker do the clear data, they can change the bank detail, they can change the KYC details, right? So that's why in the share preference only prefer to store some keys or a username and password, but it should not be in a clear text. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so here you can see the username and password. Okay, whenever you go for the login, okay, the parameter you have to check for the share preference, which is login parameters, okay, KYC details, bank details, okay, in these sensitive parameters you have to check. Now I'm enter my username and password. Okay, the password is admin @ hash 123. Okay, and save it. Now you can see the third party credentials save successfully. Okay, so adb shell, hit enter. Now after doing the adb shell, I have to check the package name. Okay, so go to cd/data. Okay, hit enter, ls, and check for the package name of diva. Okay, now you can see here Jakhar Hasim diva. Okay, this is the package name. cd, I'm enter it, ls. Now you can see here the share preference file. Okay, cd, go to the share preference, ls. Now you can see we have a XML file here. Okay, so in the Linux command we have to read the XML file using the cat and hit enter. You can see password admin @ hash 123 and user is admin. Okay, so whenever I do clear data, okay, for example it's my KYC detail. I will go to the div application. Okay, storage, clear data. Okay, and reopen the application again. Now I'm reopening the application. Now cd space ls. You can see here there is no share preferences file available, right? There is a no share preferences file is available. Whenever I enter the username and password again, see here share preferences appears. Okay, cd ls, wait, ls, cat command and enter. Now you can see the clear text was available. Okay, now what was the mitigation? The mitigation is the share preference should be encrypted. Okay, you can check whenever it is encrypted, the name of the share preference was also changed, is like encrypt _ shared _ preferences. I'll show you the mitigation. Go down again. You can check here encrypted share preferences. Okay, they are using AES algorithm to encrypt the data, to encrypt the whole file, also available the codes. Okay, so you can refer this to the developer to fix that insecure storage in share preferences. Okay, so your data is more securely whenever you enable the encryption in shared preferences. And also look at that, don't store KYC details, bank details, such type of detail in share preferences, because attacker can clear the data and re-verify this from different account. Okay, login is a very common. Okay, but some developer are storing the data of KYC detail and bank detail. So first of all, whenever you're testing the mobile application, just go through the mobile application thoroughly. Okay, now this is a insecure data storage in share preferences. Now another is insecure data storage in database. Okay, in database. Now insecure data storage in database, it means the SQL database are available in our Android system. SQLite 3 Android was supported. Okay, Android are supported SQLite 3. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to go for a SQLite. Okay, insecure data storage part 2. Okay, hacker @ hash 123 Save it. Now successfully go ls again. Okay, now can see here we got a IDS 2. Okay, which is the IDs. Okay, now in some application they are having some unique name like user, admin, okay, anything. Okay, but command is same, so I'm checking for the IDs. Okay, now put the command sqlite 3 and IDs 2. Okay, and hit enter. Now you are in SQL Lite framework. Okay, now put the SQL statement. Okay, you have to put the SQL statement. So first of all I will put dot tables, hit enter. Okay, now I got two tables, which is Android metadata and which is my user table. Okay, so I need a my user table. Okay, in SQL we having some tables. In tables we have our data in rows and column format, right? So select star from my user. Okay, check the spelling will be proper, and at the last add the semicolon is very important. Okay, because in our SQL query we are adding the semicolon. Hit enter. Now after hitting enter you can see hacker at the rate hash 123. Okay, now it is also in clear text. Okay, you have to secure your database also. It should not be in a clear text, it should be a encrypted values. Okay, you can also check from your bank details, KYC. Now if I clear the data, okay, so it might be possible to delete the database. Okay, because database are also stored in our mobile devices. Okay, it might be possible. So let's check this scenario also again. Clear data again. Diva. Okay, I will put select star from my user. Okay, you can see still hacker and hacker at that hash 123 is exist. Why it exists? Because the share preference was deleted but not database should deleted. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, Control Z, clear it again. Now the mitigation of insecure database is simple: to encrypt the data. Okay, same as share preferences, we are encrypting the data. Okay, as same as on the database, whenever you storing the information on a database, you don't need to disclose your data without any encryption. Okay, your data should be fully encrypted. Now the third one is temporary file. Okay, it's a temp file. Now in secure data storage part 3, username hack, password hack at the rate hash 123. Save this one. Okay, now our username and password will save. Now where you should have to go to check where your temporary data will store: cd ls. Okay, you can see here the temp file tmp. Okay, it's our temporary file, the extension is temp tmp. Now simple, copy this cat command and paste your file name, hit enter. You can see this is the username hack and hack at the rate hash 123. Okay, this is the temporary file, also plain text and also not encrypted. You can see here the hint, which is a poor encryption. Okay, or access control issues or plain text, something like that. Okay, so we need a proper encryption on the temporary file also. Okay, now the next is, wait a minute, yeah, okay, now next one is storage in hidden files. Okay, there might be some hidden files in our Android, in our system also, like Linux, Windows also having many hidden files are there. Okay, how you can check this insecure data storage on the hidden files? Okay, first we check the share preference, second we check for the database, third we check for the temporary file, and fourth we have to check for our temporary file, and temporary file is also stored in our SD card. Okay, temporary file is also stored in our SD card, but the application must have some storage permission. Let's check the application have any storage permission or not. If the application don't have the storage permission, they cannot save the data in your SD card or in your file storage. Okay, so what I have to do, no permission was available, I will enable the storage permission. Now many application are you have to force allow to the storage permission. Okay, whenever you install the application they need some permission, right, like storage, camera, all this thing. Okay, now in secure data storage part 4, here I am putting Abhishek at the hash 123. Okay, the reason is same for the poor encryption must be important, simple, save it, third party credential save successfully. Okay, now I have to go cd slash SD card, hit enter. Okay, ls, when you go for the ls you can see all the directories are showing but not a hidden directory. Okay, so what was the command to find the hidden directories or a hidden file? Simply ls space dash la, hit enter. Now you can see from the dot it is a hidden file. You can see .uinfo.txt, this is the hidden file. Okay, they are storing. Cat command Abhishek and Abhishek at the hash 123. Okay, this is the another method to storing the data. Okay, now in nowadays in our latest application we are using the latest application like Swiggy, Mintra and all, so share preferences are available, might be available, database also might be available, hidden files also might be available, but temporary file in some cases developer don't do. Okay, they cannot store some files in temporary file in nowadays, but it's possible to store in share preferences, databases and hidden files. Okay, temporary files is like outdated, but share preferences, database, it's a not outdated. Okay, still the developer are storing their datas, okay, in these fields, so you have to check that. Now another thing is input validation. Okay, input validation. Now using the input validation you can do this in SQL injection, such as on a website. Okay, we already see in our website whenever we found the login pages, okay, we are putting some SQL queries or SQL payloads on that. Okay, so as same as in our mobile application, whenever we found some input parameters, any input parameters, logins or search engine, anything, okay, you can just try your SQL injection. Okay, so go for here input validation. Okay, you can see enter the name to search any input parameters you can put on login, for search engine, for KYC details, for bank details, sign up, each and everything. Okay, so just put a payload of your SQL query, okay, or SQL payload. So I'm putting comma, capital or 1 is equal to 1 dash dash. This is my payload I'm using, and search. You can see we can easily check the admin password is 123, and this is the credit card detail, and the another user diva password is pass p at the rate word and credit card detail, and the third user is John, password is 123 and their credit card details. Okay, it means using this query you can easily get the details in any input parameter. You can check this. Now basically what was the fixing of this vulnerability is simple. To do the input validation, it means you cannot put your queries in the input field. Okay, your characters it means the special characters, numbers are strictly prohibited. Why? Because they are saying name to search. Name is a just a characters. Okay, like admin 123, it's a name. Okay, you can see here I'm putting the admin, they will show me the password again. Okay, if I putting the diva, they are showing me the password again. But they also allow me to put a special characters here. Okay, special characters should also not allowed. When I put comma, capital or 1 is equal to 1 dash dash, they allow me to put the query and I easily get all the user credentials. Okay, the fixing is you have to put the input validations on your application. It is very important. Okay, now second part in our input validation, which is file access. Okay, okay, file access, it means enter the URL to view. Okay, now they're having some parameters. You have to put anything and output was appear in your application. Okay, anything, you can input the anything and output was appear in your application, right? For example, the URL, some commands also. For example, I'm putting the ping command here and the ping command are showing output in my mobile application. Anything, you are doing the input and you will get the output. Okay, this is the main important part you have to check. You are putting the input and you are getting the output in the application. When you check this thing, so you can also get some file access. Okay, such as whenever I put some URL here and click on view. Okay, you can see they redirected to me a cyberbugs.in. Okay, and sometimes it should be see. Okay, you can see it's redirected to me a cyberbugs.in, but I'm still in my application diva. Check here, I'm still in my application. They are showing the web view in the application, not outside the application, right? Sometimes the output will be appear here also, sometimes it should be redirected, but in application, not outside the application. You can check here, I'm still in diva, not the any other browser. Okay, so what should I do? I can access the file also. Okay, I can access the file also. For example, I have the file file, this is the command. Okay, file, this is the command whenever you open anything in your browser. Okay, for example, I will open this nmap.txt in a browser. Okay, you can check here file colon triple slash home slash abhishek slash desktop slash nmap.txt. So I can use my files in my browser. Okay, I can use my files in my browser as same as you can use your files in your mobile application. Okay, for example, they're having some parameter which is slash etc slash hosts. Click to view, you can see IP location, all these things are disclosing. Okay, if I am putting some other thing like my share preferences. Okay, if I got the share preferences location, So let's check the share preferences location. Now I'm typing this whole word and this one also. Okay, and let's check it's accessible or not. You can see XML file is appeared. Okay, the XML does not appear have style information, but document is shown below. Let's check they're having some spelling mistake or not. Okay, the application is crashed now. Okay, but thing would be the same. Okay, whenever you put the proper thing in the input validation, you can easily access your XML, and XML output will showing below. Okay, so what was the mitigation is simple. Do the input validation. Okay, input validation do not allow any type of special characters. Okay, do not allow any type of special characters, only allow the limited things which you need. Okay, when you allow the special characters, attacker can also do SQL injection or some file access. Okay, sometimes XSS injection also, but XSS injection might be not possible in mobile application. Why? Because you are putting some JavaScript. Okay, you are putting a JavaScript. Now the mobile application are created with the Java or a Kotlin language, but not a JavaScript. Whenever you put any type of XSS script in the mobile application, they cannot be run successfully. Okay, what was the reason behind that? Because application cannot response your particular like you can say the particular action. Okay, whenever I put the script here, the script would be easily input. Okay, but they cannot show the action, they cannot show the error. You can see here they cannot show the error of the alert because mainly accesses are only vulnerable through the website end. Okay, if the mobile application are a web view. Okay, what is web view? For example, I have my own website and I will provide a web view, so my website are running as a mobile application. Okay, I just put my URL in the code and the URL is happening in my application. But if my website is vulnerable through the accesses and my app in my mobile application, I'll putting the script, they are not working. Why they are not working? Because the reason behind that, the mobile application cannot act your scripts, they cannot run your scripts. Okay, so SQL queries will be run because the mobile application storing some databases. Okay, and they can also store some file access, so you can do the input validation using the SQL injections or a file storage. In fact, command injection might be possible, okay, I'm not sure, but might be possible because the Android system is a Linux based operating system, so it might be possible you can run a Linux commands in the input validation such as ping command. Okay, this one you can run, and if the pinging will be start, it means it's a vulnerable. Okay, it might be possible, right? So you can do that.